Hey guys, welcome back to the Fragrance Wardrobe. I'm Michael, and today I am doing a tag video that I was tagged by my friend Joe over at Mr. Fragrance on the other side of the pond. Thank you, Joe, for the tag. I was actually hoping I'd get tagged for this one. This is going to be 4 nostalgic fragrances, and I'm going to tell you guys why they bring up, fond memories of the past, my past. Before we get into the video, I do want to remind you guys, if you like this type of content, please like the video. Also consider subscribing to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you do that, I would really appreciate you a lot. All right, let's go ahead and get into these 4 fragrances that are nostalgic for me. They bring up fond memories. When I smell them, they take me back in time. And I guess not too far back. I'm only like 37, but well, I'm getting there, I guess. So before I start thinking about how old I am now, I just grab the fragrances, huh? Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, this first fragrance is old school. I want to say it came out in 1977. Could be wrong about that. I probably am. This one is from Givenchy, and it is the original Gentleman. Right there. Everybody's on like the Gentleman EDP, the Boisé, Gentleman Only. This is the one right here that started it all. If you don't have this one, you're missing out. This is old school, yeah, has a ton of notes in it, and I think it smells really good. This one, like, it screams like dressing up, in my opinion. It's one of those like older style fragrances that go really good dressed up. The name Gentleman fits the bill perfectly. Man, I love this scent a lot. Now, why is this one nostalgic for me? When I smell this fragrance, I think of my late grandfather. Well, I have a couple of them. My mom's father, that grandfather. This was his signature scent for years. I remember him wearing this. I can't recall him wearing anything else. And he passed away, I guess, when I was in my 20s. He passed away when my son was like, I guess about 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. My son was around 2 or 3. And it was very sudden. He had a house fire and he did not survive. So it was a sudden loss. And one of the things I remember, I just used to love his fragrance, his cologne he wore. I really loved it. I could pick him out. If I smelled it immediately, I'm like, oh, it took me back. So when I smell it, it does take me back. He was a big cowboy. Back in his day and everything, learned how to ride horses, rove, all that stuff from him. So when I was a kid, a lot of fun. I think he even taught me how to swim. So had a lot of good memories with him. And I actually have the small bottle from a gift set that was his, and it survived the fire, kind of. Yeah, kind of survived the fire. I did use it for a little bit. And actually the fire didn't damage it, and it was a really hot fire. So yeah, that is why Givenchy Gentleman is a nostalgic scent. I'll always have it in my collection because it does remind me of my grandfather. Okay, next up is a fragrance that I actually wore when I met my wife and when we were dating. I think even when we got married, all that. I wore it for a while. I think I got it maybe end of high school. Maybe I was out of high school. I don't remember. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas one year, and I wore it a whole bunch at that time in my life. I guess I was early 20s, late teens, early 20s. But yeah, this is the fragrance that when my wife smells it, she thinks about me when we were dating. I smell it, and yeah, it takes me back to a younger time in my life when my wife and I were dating. We've been married for 14 years now, so it's been a while. This one is Armani Chrome, right here. And I actually have I had a gift set. I burned through the big bottle, but I do have the small bottle that came with it. Still have that. So, yeah, still smells good. It's a very clean, very fresh fragrance. There's a little bit of like a metallic, I guess, chrome type of feel to it. Really nice fragrance. It worked really well, what, 20 years ago? I think a lot of people wore it 20 years. Oh. A lot of people wore it 20 years ago, worked really well. Not a lot of people wear it today. I think it still plays today though, but yeah, when I think Armani Chrome, I think when I was younger, dating my wife. Okay, this next fragrance was released in 1995. Really, really loved it when I first smelled it. I guess when it very first came out, I want to say I was in like elementary school. Maybe like 5th grade, something like that. I don't know, somewhere around there. But I do remember in 5th grade, I used to go clothes shopping, back to school shopping with my grandmother every year, like up until maybe like my sophomore year in high school when I started buying my own stuff, that kind of thing. But elementary through middle school, all of that. She used to take me to the mall to go clothes shopping. Got to buy whatever I wanted pretty much. It was really great. It was a great childhood. And Tommy was one of those fragrances that was out on the counter, and you could always get decants of from the department stores, and I would always grab decants. They'd give them to me, and I liked them. Well, I took this decant to school one day, and me and my best friend, we sat next to each other in class, and I guess it was probably like a 2 or 3 mil decant, and we put it on, and then we put some more on, and then we put more on, and we burned through that entire decant by probably before lunch. And we were projecting very heavily. We did get in trouble for bringing it to school and dousing ourselves in it. And yeah, that is just kind of a fun little story that makes me remember elementary school for some reason. And it does, you know, kind of take me back to school clothes shopping with my grandmother and all of that. This one is Tommy right here. Really nice cactus note in it. This one is a fragrance that came out in the 90s that's really stood the test of time because people still wear it. They still put it on list videos even today and all of that. It's a really good scent. Love the cactus note. It's a very original scent, and I think that might be why it has stood the test of time. And last but not least, this one reminds me of my dad when he was like my age. When I was a kid, I would say when he was my age, well, maybe when he was a little bit younger than me, because when he was my age, I think I was in high school. But this fragrance takes me back to like middle school, elementary school, growing up with my dad. I think he would have been a little bit younger than me when I was in middle school. So I don't remember. But yeah, so he was a young dad, obviously. If he was in his mid-30s or early mid-30s when I was like in middle school, he's a young dad. And he had one that, even to this day, I smell it, I think of my dad. And particularly, I think of my dad, like taking me to hockey games, Dallas Stars games. I was a huge Dallas Stars fan, and I actually was going to be a Dallas Star, and at least I thought so. I loved to play hockey. I was actually pretty good at hockey. Yeah, I was pretty dang good at it. And he got me all squared away. He actually turned me on to the love of hockey. I remember, let's see, February 18th, my birthday one year, I want to say in 1994, when the Stars first came to Dallas, and I think it was the 93-94 season. That was my first hockey game. He took me on my birthday. And if you've ever seen the skyline of Dallas, the big ball tower, it's called Reunion Tower. He took me there afterwards to like eat and stuff. It was really cool. And when I smell this fragrance, I think of those times with my dad. It is Obsession from Calvin Klein. I actually do not own a bottle of this. I do need to get one for nostalgic purposes though. This is actually what my dad gave to my son, I guess maybe a couple months ago. I guess my dad still wears this. I guess he still has a bottle of it, so I guess that he still wears it. And he gave this one to my son. Yeah, really nice scent. This I would probably classify as his signature scent, you know, when he wasn't working, which he worked a lot, works for the power company, and back when I was a kid, he was always working. If the wind blew too hard or it started raining, he was climbing poles, fixing everybody's power, you know, electric and all that. So, but yeah, Obsession reminds me of my dad, and going to my first hockey game, and then subsequently all the other hockey games he took me to. He even took me, I guess, one year on New Year's Day, and he got tickets right on the glass, which was awesome. Caught a puck and everything, or he caught the puck, and it was really cool. So I really think of, you know, hanging out with my dad, doing those things as a kid when I smell Obsession. So I do need to get that for nostalgic purposes. So on this tag, I am going to tag a couple people. I don't know if they've done it yet. I want to tag Tim over at the Smelly Sweed. Go check out his channel. I'll link it in the description. Really cool guy, really great knowledge of fragrances. Also, Heart Notes TV, Jim, you're tagged. I tagged him a lot, talked about him a lot. Cool dude. Go check out his channel as well. It will be in the description. All right, guys, I appreciate you clicking on the video. If you found this video entertaining or anything like that, please give it a like. Also, if you're at the end of the video right now and you're still watching, you obviously like me, so, or like my content. So you should go ahead and commit to me and my channel. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and I will catch you guys with the next video.